Okay, if it wasn't clear during the Deer Park trip video, this is what I meant by like buses replace trains between Southeast Passaic on Metro North, but they don't on Long Island Railroad. But now I'm gonna catch the 1117 to Grand Central Terminal, taking it to Jamaica, where I'm pointing right now. Woodlawn. Here we are in Mineola, in the overpass. Unlike the real Mineola, this is the only overpass and it has 3 elevators. Mineola, the real Mineola, it only has 2 side platforms, whereas this one has what Mineola should be, a side and an island platform. Anyway, the first 4 open cars only open at Jamaica. So I'm going to be going here to the front. But that's not what this video is about. It's about the new Intel Raptor Lake processors and how much slower they are than, extremely slower they are than the Zen 4, Ryzen 7000. So we all know the specs that were revealed for both processors. I was really expecting Raptor Lake to be faster than Alder Lake, but it's actually slower when it comes to base clocks. And you're probably wondering, why are base clocks even important? They're not important anymore. Turbos are what matters. Well, base clocks still do matter. I mean, people are probably wondering. Okay, we got an M7. No, that was all. People are probably wondering, doesn't the processor usually run at turbo rate all the time? Yeah, it does, but that means it'll draw a lot more power if the base clock is lower. So that's what I'm talking about. Base clocks do matter. Because then when they're pushing the limits with the turbo clock, it'll draw a lot more power if it's a lower base clock. Anyway, here's the topic I'm talking about. Intel's 13900K is only 3 gigahertz, 3.0, not 3.2 like the 12900K. And that's just the performance cores. AMD uses all performance cores, whereas Intel is like a mixture that makes the efficiency cores much slower. It also prevents you from playing games unless you disable either the performance cores or the efficiency cores. While there are more efficiency cores, I'd recommend disabling them instead, because the performance cores are better for gaming than the efficiency cores. And I'm not even sure if you can disable the performance cores instead. But when it comes to the 6-core processors, which I know Intel, that only counts the performance cores, because Intel's not going to be launching any 6-core processors this generation, technically, because of the efficiency cores. But you know what I mean. AMD's Ryzen 5 7600, sorry, is going to run at 4.6 or 4.7 gigahertz. I forgot which one it was. So, ooh, look, run Conk on the train. Anyway, it's going to run much higher clock than the 13400, which will probably run like, I think it was around like 2.2, 2.3 gigahertz. That's what I think it was. Don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. But, yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. But that's the main thing. It doesn't even run at half the clock as the... doesn't even run at half the clock of a... doesn't even run at half the clock Man, this M7 is loud. Damn traction motors. Okay, it's slowing down, not gonna whine anymore. And it's a Hicksville train, not a Ronkonkoma train. Anyway, doesn't even run at half the clock. Runs at less than half the clock speed of the AMD competition, Intel's 12400, which is what most people buy. They don't go for the 600 or the 500 usually, because of price. The AMD's is twice as expensive, I think. Not twice, but almost. Given the Intel prices before. So, here's the deal. If you want a 65 watt processor that's going to draw a lot of power when it's running at the same speed as AMD's, then you can get Intel. But if you don't want it to draw a lot of power, then you can do AMD when it runs at the same speed. I don't think it can even compete with AMD given the low clocks and high clocks of AMD's with the low clocks on Intel's end. So that's the whole deal. I mean, what is Intel doing? First it was Ice Lake. 1.3 gigahertz, you've got to be kidding me. That's an i7 we're talking about. It's not even as fast as Thunderbird or Tualatin, as I explained. And the Tualatin Celeron, the low end one went up to 1.5, not just 1.4. Although I don't think that was ever officially launched back in 2002. But yeah, we're comparing Ice Lake to 2000, 2001, 2002. I know it's quad core and has turbo boost, but you know what I mean. And then Rocket Lake was the same sort of mess, but with desktop CPUs, so it was a bit higher. Not so much the T-series chips, which draw more than twice the power of the U-series. But get this. Both Core i5 Y-series chips, they can't even run macOS 10.5, the Leopard, because they're under 867 megahertz. And that was like 13 years before the launch in 2020. Actually, it was 2019, so it was 12 years. But man, that's why Apple launched their own Intel chips. Oh. Is that a Ronkonkoma train? I gotta go check. But wait, it won't stop at Woodlawn, then it will only go to Harlem 125th Street. I don't know, it's not stopping here, but it's stuck there. What am I going off topic for? Apple made their own Intel chips so that they could get it to run macOS, because obviously 700 or 800 megahertz cannot run macOS. The current ones, at least, can run Tiger. That's not supported anymore. More traction motors. Is it just me, or have I been noticing more 6-car trains on Metro North? More short ones. The train comes in 7 minutes and my video is getting long. But I think I've made the point. Alder Lake and Raptor Lake are also pretty slow. With the base clocks, at least. And people exaggerate by... And these days, people exaggerate with the clocks by thinking the turbo boost is actually the clock. When it's not.